This is a very special day. It marks the 5th anniversary of Cory's passing and of my awakening. So it's kind of like my birthday. And so today I'm at a tree where we planted Cory's tree. Cory's tree is kind of having difficulty because we have not had very much rain here in Austin. And so after this video, we're going to fertilize it and see if we can bring it back to life. But it doesn't really matter. First of all, I want to share a little bit about my journey and about cycles of life. Cycles, death, and rebirth. And so, on October 26th, 2014, I received a phone call from the Harris County Medical Examiner's Office informing me that Cory had died. And when I received that call, all I could say was, oh my gosh. It was heart-wrenching. It was gut-wrenching. And it was one of the most difficult things that a person can experience. And it plunged me into a journey with grief that's been quite intense. And so, at the same time, it was a powerful awakening experience for me. And so, what's happened is very early on, days after Cory passed, he began appearing to me and supporting me and guiding me as my spirit guide. And it was as if he was saying, I'm finished now, and I'm going to the other side where I can be of more service. And so I realized that he and I came here for very, very special reasons. We came here to shift human consciousness and to create a new earth. And so we're doing that. And so I want to share a little bit about this journey. You talk about feeling sucker punched. Talk about feeling anxious. Talk about feeling depressed. Talk about grieving, anger, sadness, fear, all of it. That's exactly what I experienced through my journey. And I responded to grief going outward in love and meaningfully connecting. And over the course of time, Spirit said, I want you to go inward now. And I want you to get really still. And I want you to begin getting to know your shadow, your fear, your darkness, your sadness, your anxiety, your anger. And I want you to start loving that. Well, that's not easy. That's not easy. And one of the things particular that I was constantly being faced with is the fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, and my unworthiness. And so through my journey, I was learning how to be present, how to embody unconditional love by making best friends with these parts of myself, which is not a simple process. It required me to choose to face my fears, allow and open whenever these fears would arise. And so this is kind of how it went. Something would happen in my experience. I would think about my grief experience with Cory or something altogether different, and it would just like boom, bring me to this place where I'm face to face with this fear of abandonment and rejection and my unworthiness and a whole bunch of other stuff. And oh man, I slowly but surely began to make friends with these parts of myself. But the process was difficult, especially at first. It's literally like death over and over and over. And it's not actually physical death. It's the death of what I thought it should look like. And I realized through this experience that everything is cyclical. Everything. We die and we are reborn. Look at the seasons. There's winter, then there's spring, then there's summer and fall, and we start all over. And so I realized that even though Cory physically died, he didn't go away. He's still very much present. just from the other side. And so in order for this cycle to continue, he had to die in order for me to be reborn and to continue this cycle within myself. And so that's just how it works. And so whenever I would get triggered and go through this intense feelings, I would, after a while, I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'm just dying. And I know I'll be reborn. And I knew that it was actually death to what I thought it should look like. It wasn't actually the physical death. And so I want to read to you about this concept of the cycles of life. And I think it's really cool that this tree that we planted is really kind of suffering. And I had an idea that it may be before I came, because we haven't had much rain. And I thought, the tree may be dead. And we're going to fertilize it. We're going to try to revive it. But if it dies, it dies. This is it. We must die first. When a flower, springtime flower comes out, and then after a week or so, it dies. And the seeds fall to the ground, and they mix with all the decomposed other things in the earth. And then in the wintertime, they just stay there. And then the springtime, poof, they come back up. And this is what life is like. And so this happens in the course of not just physical life and death, but in the course of our journeys. And this is what Cory had to say about his own journey. He lived a very dramatic life, very cyclical. He says, the cyclical nature of my spirituality and well-being used to trouble me, but now I see. This is the true nature of life. We all go through it. I'm just going through the cycles very rapidly in life as I'm getting nearer to crystallization. So I accept the hell phases, and even that to others my path may seem like failure after failure until a certain point. This is the life I chose before I was born. And I want to interject that though you don't realize it, before you were born, you were source, and you chose whatever life you came. Why would you do that? You did that because you know that whatever you experience is what you came to heal in yourself and in the collective. And you came here bravely to be a human. I'm just reminding you. And so Cory says, this is the life I chose before I was born. So drugs, depression, even death are all okay. Though life may go normal for me, kids, a job at some point, I wouldn't count on it. My priority in this lifetime is saturation and crystallization of consciousness, as it has been all my life, moment by moment. And he also talks about cycles of light and darkness. And he said, I've learned to allow the cycle. Oh, I'm dying again. Well, I'm reborn. Oh, I'm dying again. This is just okay. I'm dying only to be reborn to something that better serves me at this time, to new life. But I have to first let go, die to what I thought it should look like in order to live to a new life. He said, allow souls to climb and fall quickly. Whether we accept it or not, our souls do go through such cycles, even if we only observe one tendency in a given lifetime. And he said, I do this, that I might assist others to rise from the depths themselves. Each dark period in my life has had an immeasurable positive effect on others. And this is proof right here. I believe my soul chose this life of repeated success and failure. Not that the cycle must continue, but that it's only important I do my best, practice due diligence, attract not the end of addiction, but sobriety. Not the end of forgetting God's power, but the memory of it. I can't help but think these notes, the physical manifestation of the crystallization of understanding will have lasting effect. So as I shared Cory's perspective on the cycles of life and death, I want to share my own cycles. And so when Cory died, the real death was the death of what I thought it should look like. And it was difficult death. It was very traumatic. However, I chose to let go of what I thought it should look like so I could be reborn to what better serves me at this time and why I came here. So through my grief journey, I've learned how to die to what I thought it should look like and continue to live. I've learned how to allow the cycles in my life so I continue to open to who we are as love itself, as life and freedom and peace and joy. So last year at this time, I moved to Austin, Texas. And I want to say that moving here was a big decision because I had to let go of what I thought my life should look like in order to live this amazing life that I'm living now. So this year, I have, by the way, spent my entire year creating and working out how is it that I am going to create this new earth? What is my offering to the world, and how is this going to work? And I've tried this and I've tried that, and I'm going in different directions, and I'm learning everything along the way. But along the way, I've also had to die to what I thought it should look like so I could open to my highest self and to allow that cycle to continue. So every year on Cory's anniversary of his passing, I've had some sort of celebration. I've had some sort of major personal development and growth. And so this year, I thought I was going to be announcing the global launch of a Creating a New Earth community. And I realized that I needed to let go of what I thought that should look like, because instead I am going to have a greater impact with what the universe is sharing with me and guiding me to. And that is, very, very shortly, I will be launching a private Facebook group for people to learn more about how I can help them heal, and how that I can heal people who need love, but they don't feel safe. And I can guide them to create beautiful new lives of peace and joy and love. And so I'm going to step into a role as a life guide. And you'll hear more about that in time to come. But I am super excited to share my grief journey in a powerful transformation in a way that will really, really impact people's lives and help people who are working through anxiety, depression, and grief, and change their lives so we can create beautiful new lives. That's how we create a new earth. And it's amazing. And I'm calling in all of those people who I already agreed before I came here to work with, to help open to who we are as love itself, as peace itself, as joy itself. And my life is an example of what that transformation looks like. It's so exciting. So every year when I do these different celebrations, I spread some of Cory's ashes. And I have some in here, and looks like this. Yeah, little white powder. And let's see, I'm gonna put this down a little bit so you can see. I'm gonna put a few ashes around the base of the tree. Go down a little farther. And then we're gonna water it in a little while after this video. Oh, Lordy. Can you see the white powder? There you go. Alrighty. So, I also want a little love. And I just want to send a shout out and a thank you to Cory. He's amazing. And I want to say, before I go, I want to say to you out there, if you've been struggling, maybe you've experienced the death of a loved one, or the loss of your health, or a breakup, or some sort of death to what you thought it should look like, and you're struggling out there, I want to say to you, I'm sorry. It ain't easy. I'm sorry. You're not alone. I know you feel alone. I know you feel like nobody wants you. It is you against the world. I understand. I want you to know you're not alone. We're here now with you. You are safe. You are held. You're loved beyond measure. Thank you so much. You're going to make it through. You're totally going to make it through. All right, let's see if I can undo this thing. Oh, look what I did. I made a knot. I do believe that I'm having some difficulties here. Aha. Well, do we have... Can you give me those scissors over there, sweetie? Because I have some difficulties with this. Oh, Lordy. This heart does not want to come out of this tree. Oh, got it. I want to say a huge thank you to Cory for everything, for giving me this amazing opportunity to live and love and be free. I love you so much, Cory. Well, guess what? The tree got caught in the tree. That didn't go as I planned either. It's all good. Oh, well. Take care. And I love you so much.